Dang it. Man, what's going on, people? It is your guy Z Fly. Look, it's so crazy. As soon as I hit go live, I was like, man, because remember I in my last stream I said I was gonna have like a background for you, but I forgot. It's crazy. It'd be on my mind, but then I'd be forgetting. Anyway, but next month, hopefully I'll remember next month. What's going on, people? It's your guy Z Fly. I'm trying to do this. Let me see. I should be good now. I was trying to do it without a ring light, but I might. I mean, it looks bright, but that ring light gives it a little bit more brightness. And I know y'all are saying every time he's doing his live, he's never ready, he's never prepared. That's not true, but it's like when you go live, you actually see. See, bam, there you go. It just gives that more, so that you can really see me. All right, everybody, what is going on, everybody? It is 10:19 on a Sunday night, July 26th. And if you're wondering what this live is, it's actually my fifth installment of my vent week. Remember, listen, this was supposed to be done on Friday. Everybody, listen, you talking about vent week? I've been venting for real because this week has just been so hectic that I didn't really have time to do a lot. But I said, you know what? I want to get my vent week before the week is out. Now, for some people, if depending on what calendar you look at, today is the start of a new week. But in my mind, Sunday has always been the end of the week in my mind for me. So I know what the calendar says, but but if you look, if you're lucky, there are actually calendars that go from Monday to Sunday. I've actually seen those. I actually owned those calendars before. So there are some calendars that actually have the week from Monday to Sunday. I know the majority has like Sunday to Saturday, but I like Monday to Sunday because for me, like, does I think about it? Does Sunday really feel like the beginning of the week? Does it really? It just doesn't. It feels like the end, right? And I think it's just the way that, um, society has it built as far as working. See, if we started work on a Sunday, then it might would feel like the beginning of the week. But since we start working on Monday, just feel like the beginning. Monday is the beginning of the week. So anyway, so the point is, so yeah, I wanted to go ahead and get this in because I said, you know what? To me, like I said, it's the end of the week, so I'm still within the week of Vent Week. All right, so I'm going to give you my Vent Week for today. So once again, hopefully everybody had a great week. Stay cool the best you can, depending on where you are. I know there's been some heat waves here and there. Um, Depending on where you are in the country or the world, it did kind of cool down in certain areas. So hopefully, I know here in New York, things, we got into some 70s. The 70s is kind of nice in New York. When you start to get those 80s and definitely the 90s and hundreds, you can forget about it. But the 70s is definitely good. Okay. But yeah, so hopefully everybody's doing great. I know I am. Actually, right after this, I'm gonna go do my nightly walks. I do nightly walks sometimes in the summertime because, the weather is cooler. And actually, walking. I live in Brooklyn, so in the neighborhood I live in, the neighborhood is actually nice and there's not a lot of traffic. So right after this vent week, I'm hitting the streets for my nightly walk. Okay, get my 10,000 steps in. Okay, but let's go ahead and get this event week started because, like I said, it's already kind of late and it's almost midnight to be starting another week. Okay, so let me see. Formalities, getting them out of the way. Once again, I do have my cancer walk coming up in September 20th in DC. So I'll talk about that a little bit after the event. But if you look into the chat over there, you actually will see I have some information. And once again, if you do want to submit your events for the event weeks, it's also over there as well. You will see that. Remember, so Vent Week is only once a month. So this is it for this month. Actually, this month is about over anyway. But so I won't have another one until next month. And like I said, the week hasn't been known, or I haven't. It's just random. Okay. All right. Let's get into the last vent. So what I'm venting about today is all right. This is actually some New York City problems. Okay, so if you're outside of New York, you may not get it. You may get it, but you may not get it. But if you got Metro in your city, you may get it. But anyway, so what I'm venting about today is the New York City transit, specifically more like the subway, right? Okay. So if you don't know, New York City has been cracking down on what they call fare invasion. Fare meaning FARE, like, paying your fare to ride the train. Because the way that they had the gates before, people could easily, you know, uh, go over the gate, go under the gate, which they still do. Now they have redesigned a lot of the gates here in the city, but people still going through, going over the gate, going under. Also we have the emergency doors that a lot of people they'll just wait until someone goes through the emergency door, then a crowd of people go through the door. But even with the emergency door, they kind of slowed that down because now, like, if you go with certain emergency gates, now when you try to go through it, it'll start beeping for a good 10 seconds. You know what I'm saying? And then it'll stop. And then you push it again, you can go through. But what that does is, see, most people, whenever you're getting off the train, you're already in a hurry. You're not going to wait those 10 little seconds to go through the door. You're just going to go through the gate. But that's the whole point, because see, people who are waiting outside of the gate trying to get in, they know that most people aren't really trying to wait that 10 seconds before that beep to stop. They're just going to go through the gate. There are some people who will wait, but the majority or a lot of people, they will actually just be like, whatever. So that does kind of slow down the fare invasion. Um, so yeah. But now what I'm venting about, the reason why I'm venting about this, okay, listen, some people might say, well, that's great. Listen, New York has been losing a lot of money. People are just riding the transit for free. They're not paying. I mean, okay. And I know, I know some people may feel like, well, yeah, that's not right. But then there's other people who kind of like me. I feel kind of like, I don't know, New York City robbed people in so many other areas that I just feel like, listen, you can't rob people for so long without getting a little robbery back. So I don't really feel bad. But now what I'm venting about specifically is like, also too, what they're doing in specific stations, they now have policemen posted. So like sometimes the policemen, they're kind of hidden. So as people go through the gates or under the gates or whatever, um, you know, the wrong way or whatever, the police will stop you. And the police usually will ask stupid questions. Oh, I see that you didn't go through the gate. Why do you go? Why do you not pay? Why do you not pay? Like, okay, that's a dumb question. Because I'm trying to get in, trying to ride for free. Because the train is $3 a ride. Three trips, I'm already at $9. The four trips, we at 12. Like, okay, I ain't even have food yet. So anyway, so you'd ask stupid questions. Why did you not pay? And then they ask you stupid questions. Then they still write you a ticket, and then they try to dilute your, just trying to mess you up by saying, oh, it's just a warning. All you gotta do is go to court and tell them it's a warning, and it's not. Who got time to go to court? Have you been to a New York City courtroom or courthouse? It is not a place you don't want to be ever. It's just so crowded, so many depressed looking people there, so much chaos. And now they got you going for ducking going under the gate or going through the door. My vent about this is I don't like it because let me tell you something, everybody. Everybody and their grandma, not even their mama, but their grandma goes through these gates, goes through these doors. I mean, there have been times I haven't seen crowds of people, waiting for the emergency door to open, and I mean crowds of people go in to get to get in free, to bypass paying that $3 a swipe. And I'm talking people like from every ethnicity, every race, age group. I've seen from old to young to in between. I've seen Jews, just saying, Muslims, black, whites, Italians, Catholics, Baptists, the Satanists, what's the other people? Buddhists. Everybody. I'm telling you, Chinese, Asians. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, everybody. Is there now the fair invasion does not discriminate. I'm telling you, everybody has gone through these gates illegally. I'm telling you the truth. Your boy Z Fly. Hello. Sure have. Yeah. And so I just think it's so wrong that one of those policemen stop the few that they catch. Okay, I'll say several. The several that they might catch on a daily or weekly basis, I think it's so wrong. But I think it's wrong to give people a ticket. I'm serious. I almost want to tag the mayor on this because it's just so wrong to give someone a ticket. Because, like I said, the several that you may get throughout the day or the week, so many dozens, hundreds, even thousands have gone through that door. So, see what I'm saying? Here's what I really feel they should do. I feel like if like you know what I'm saying, if the police catch you, don't be giving people a ticket and then I'm trying to send them to court to go talk. Yeah, that's a waste of time. To me, that's a waste of time. It's a waste of the court time for $3. Okay, this person went through illegally for $3. Like, let's send them to court. No, just either a send the people back out. But listen, you didn't pay. You got to go back out and pay, right? Or what's the other thing I think is a good thing? Yeah, or just basically just that's it. Basically send them back out and be like, you didn't pay, sir or ma'am, you got to go back out. And that's it. And that way they either gotta pay or they gotta just go to another station or whatever. But I don't think it's fair writing someone up for that. I really don't. I mean, people, you have to understand there are, oh my gosh, oh, probably thousands. This is a true story on one day, this big city, all these different stations, thousands of people do fair invasions. Even with the new gates, they don't care about that. Those new gates ain't really slowing people down. So it's like the few people that the police get, it's almost like, in a sense, it's almost like they're. I mean, they're not, but yes, those people who they catch, yeah, they are doing something illegally, but so are thousands of others. You see what I'm saying? So you get these little few hundreds, maybe even under hundreds in a day that you stopped, that you actually caught when you wasn't on your phone. Because NYPD love to be texting and on their phone watching movies while they're on duty. But all these thousands have went through already. You see what I'm saying? I just think it's so wrong. I really think that if they catch you, just send you back out the gate and be like, sorry, you didn't pay. You got to go back out and pay, or you can't ride. And let the people go on about their way. Stop always trying to send somebody to court or write a ticket and have their name in the system and all this type of stuff. I just think that is my vent for this. I really think it's so wrong. And like I said, it'd be different if many people didn't do it. But I mean, I'm telling you, people, if you don't live in New York, if you live in New York, you know what I'm talking about. But if you are outside of New York, you don't understand maybe. Or if you're in a city like maybe DC, Atlanta, LA, that also got a metro, I'm pretty sure in those cities people be jumping over the thing too. You understand what I'm saying, but yeah, it's just so wrong to give someone a ticket. And I know you're probably like, look at Z Fly. He over here encouraging illegal activity. No, I'm not encouraging it, but it's like when thousands. Now I know, just because thousands or millions or trillions do it, they'll make it right. But it also don't make it right to get the little few tickets when millions don't went through. Like, come on now, like that ain't fair either. Like, we got to meet in the middle somewhere. Just send the people back out. Sorry, we saw you go over the gate. You didn't pay. You go back out and pay, or you can't come in. Boom, let them go. They listen. Now they got busted. They're embarrassed now. Maybe they pay and gone by the business. But don't. I think the ticket thing is just a waste of time. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of court time. It's the waste of the person's time. It's stupid over $3. The thing is $3 to win. I mean, to win, to ride. It's $3. Yeah. So that's my vent for that. I got another vent. All right. My second vent is, I don't know what's going on in New York. Well, no, actually, it ain't even. What just happened, people? Hold on. Oh, I touched something. Anyway, I don't. It's not even New York. But let me tell you what happened the other day. So my second topic is, um, Speaking of the police, you can actually get out of pocket with the NYPD. It's completely okay as long as you're a certain somebody. Okay. And let me tell you about that. So speaking of my nightly walk, I was telling you. So I was on my nightly walk the other day, maybe even it might have been Tuesday. And so I do 10,000 steps. So I had got to the middle of my walk, the halfway mark, turning around, going back. And as I'm walking, I started to hear like this loud screaming. And at first, when I first heard, I'm like, New York, whatever. This is what happened all the time. But as I got closer to, where the screaming was coming from, it was actually this woman who I saw was actually screaming and yelling at a cop. And I was like, okay. So listen, you know what I mean? So I'm on the sidewalk. They're kind of in the street. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie, people. I got a little nosy. So like, I have my headphones on, right, and I have my phone. So now I'm over here acting like I'm doing something, but I'm really trying to figure out what's going on. But let me tell you something. Now, you all are going to be very, very disappointed in me because see, I could have had some great footage for you. I don't know why. For one thing, the phone I got a substitute phone and it don't have much storage in it. So I didn't have much storage to really record it. But then I was like, oh, maybe I should go live. But then I don't know. Then my conscience was like, well, maybe I should record it. Cause what the cop try to get me? I don't know. I was like, I don't want to come in and bother me. But anyway, so unfortunately, people, I don't have any live footage, but you all would have loved to seen that. Okay, so basically, my vent about this is okay. So the woman was white. Okay, it was two people. The woman was white, and then she had a guy friend, and he was either white or light. He was either white guy or like Puerto Rican light. One of them. But the point is, I don't know what happened because like I kind of walked into the scene, so I don't know what actually happened. But I heard the woman yelling aggressively, might I add, at the cop saying, you almost hit me. You could have killed me. You tried to hit me." So I don't know if either A, he was in his car and almost hit their car, or B, maybe she was walking across the street and the cop almost hit her. It was one or the other. But I just remember her screaming that, "Oh, you could have hit me," and in other words, they were saying things like him and her were saying things like, "You're a dirty cop, f you mf'er, you b." At the cop, I want you to understand this. They were saying this to a cop. They're in his face. The girl actually had a camera recording the whole time. Yeah, I'm recording you, and trust me, I'm gonna sue you, and you're an MFer and F you, and da 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 da. And the cop, and if y'all are wondering what was this cop doing, why they're just aggressively, and I have to use the word aggressively, because that was very aggressive, as they aggressively cursed out this cop. The cop was just like, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Move along. All right. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Sure. What she said? Go ahead. Yeah. That's all he was doing. I mean, I was really waiting for someone to get handcuffed. I was really waiting for someone to get, tasseled or toggled to the ground. I was waiting for someone to get tasered. Mm-mm. That cop sat right there just like this. Okay. He just sat there and just got cursed out by these people. And yeah, they were in his face. I remember the guy, he was like, "Yeah, you're a dirty cop and F you." And like I said, I don't know what happened, but something happened where the cop did something and made these two people mad. But they felt the need and felt the right to get up in his face. And when I say get up in, I want y'all to understand they're like this, everybody, little pointing, cursing, swearing, camera in his face, and he just like, yeah, yeah. So anyway, so then they did go back. They dog, like, they don't. They're still cursing. They're still calling him names. They're starting to go back to their vehicle, right? And as they're going back to the vehicle, they're still cursing. And now the cop now starts to um antagonize or instigate, because he was like, huh? What'd you say? Can't hear you. Yeah, can't hear you. What'd you say? The policeman. Yeah, I'm telling it. I sure am telling it. Instigating. So then they actually get back out of their car and they're like, "What you say?" Back in his face, pointing, cussing, camera. And I was just like, wow. Now that I'm telling it back, I feel very bad that I didn't go live. I should at least went live. But see, it was happening so fast, and I didn't know how long it was gonna last. So I don't know. You have to see it to believe it. But what that just showed me is that, yeah, like I said, if you're a certain somebody, hi y'all, hi. Yeah. Did you catch that? You can get away with cursing out the NYPD. Now, also too, I want people to understand something because I know a lot of times when things like this happen, and a lot of people feel like, like whenever the cops let certain type of people slide with crimes or bad behavior, but want to punish others for the same behavior that they let these ones over here slide with, right? Y'all know where I'm going. But I want to let you understand that this actual cop wasn't white. So that's why I always say that people have to realize that everything light isn't white. And a lot of these light people, they feel they be thinking they're white. Okay. And they be on that, yeah, they be on that stuff. And also too, then it's like eventually, like maybe two or three other cops came to I guess to assist this white cop, but they weren't doing anything either. You know what I'm saying? They stepped up to the plate and they were just like, oh, okay, they're all kind of laughing at it. Like they thought the whole thing was hilarious. But really, I saw civilians cursing this cop out, telling him where he can go, telling him what he is, calling him every name but a child of God. And he just sat there and just like, okay, yeah, all right, move on, move along. Yeah. Oh, wait, what you say? Can't hear you. Huh? You said what? You know? So yeah. So yeah, that is my vent. My vent is that yeah, if you're a certain somebody, you can get away with murder. Well, we already knew that, but while I was reminded the other night. So yeah. All right. Look at this vent is almost 30 minutes long. Hopefully y'all stayed on. 'Cause I know a lot of y'all got short attention spans. So some of y'all probably like, oh, it's too long. I gotta go. But listen, I'll give y'all some good vents. All right, everybody. So that's my vent for July. Hope you enjoyed Vent Week. What I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna repost my vents for those who did not see it. To get those likes up. Also, speaking of likes, be sure if you're on this YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe to my page. Please, please, please subscribe. These subscriptions, it mean a lot to us interview people, us radio people, us podcasters. That the subscribes mean a lot, the likes mean a lot. So please like my video if you are enjoying it. I'm saying, show your boy some love, 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 and I will definitely thank you so much for it. Also, too, once again, remember I am doing my cancer walk, raising awareness on endometrial cancer with the Foundation for Women's Cancer, September 20th in Washington, D.C. If you do want to join my team, which I would love for you to join my team, definitely go to my website, www.fly-entertainment.media. And whenever you go there, the pop-up will pop up and it'll ask you to join or either donate to my team. And you can do just that as you please. So yeah, hopefully I will see you in DC. And like I said, so next month I'll be doing another event week. And next week I will be adding in your vents. So if you have sent in vents, I'll be reading or showing your vents next month in Vent Week. And if you do want to partake in Vent Week, then please send your vents to info@flyentertainment.media. And remember, you can be anonymous or you could be known. Either way, you can send in. You could type it in. Type out your vents. I will read it, or you can send in a video. I will show it, or you can send in topics that you would like for me to talk about. Okay, either whatever works for you, I'm gonna do it. I'm your guy. All right, buddy. But today is hopefully you enjoy your weekend. Now enjoy your week. Tomorrow's Monday. Enjoy your week, and I shall talk to you. I shall see you in Vent Week next month. but I'll probably be seeing you before then with all my other stuff that I do. But yeah, but definitely check out my website, www.fly-entertainment.media. And until next time, everybody, stay fly, not high. Bye-bye.